It's August 29th, 2018. I'm in Saco, Maine. I closed out my post office box and did a change of address. Wanted to talk about the baby seals. Saw somebody make up an always story. I'm sure it'll be stuck in the paper to make it right. This is all kinds of gas. Stuff I call hammer. I don't know what it is. Filled the room for probably the half hour that I was there. I'm now down at the Saco Mill, which is well, we got to my to your right is the Saco side, Saco Island, and is that right? No. Well, whatever. Across the river is Biddeford. This side of the river is Saco. This is Saco Mill. I lived in an apartment right on the other side of that bridge, one floor up. Lived in there for a while. It got gassed right from the get-go, pretty much. Within a month into it, it was undeniable. Basically, anybody who was anybody had a little role in it. I don't know, the funding, the ordering, the working with the knuckleheads, the assuring them that they couldn't be caught, and if they were, they'd be protected, and the rest of it. I don't know the details. All I know is my job for the last 4.5 years has been to avoid the gas. Right now we got it here. It's probably coming from downriver there. This is tidal all the way up to just behind me. We're in a backwater here, kind of. The old term for backwater, where the line of the tidal stuff meets the oncoming river here at the falls. Anyway, as usual, markers around here and whatnot. I don't have a lot to say, but I will say that by the time we got here, there have been several groups working on the problems that came when they were trying to gas me in one room, not here, but at another place. And it went through the walls and into an MP's kids' bedrooms. That was probably the biggest mistake they made, because that let me call in the Army. Since then we've been busy. There's been a lot of stuff going on. We've really improved our ability to understand what gas attacks were, how to look at the tactics, the basic strategy, and contain it the best we can while we're studying it. It hasn't been easy on many people, but we're almost at the end, one way or the other, right? I'm going back to Quincy today. That place is a disaster. Between the Chinese communists, they're infiltrating the place, and all kinds of things that we're not going to talk about, at least for a few years. And ending with what happened last night, that's already been crossed out of the fake news. Never even hit the news. At least I presume it happened. I got messages that were consistent with it. I had to give some orders consistent with it. Anyway, nice to have had the football. See how long I have to have it. Well, it's not really have the football, it's like have the football. Yeah, I have the after football. Maybe that's it. Anyway, thanks all. I'm gonna get out of here. It's terrible around here. You see back there, oh, there's something in my eyes. Probably it was in tear gas earlier on a train, believe it or not. It's mild, but sweat picks it up and puts it in my eyes. It stings extra. I'm standing here about a quarter mile from where I lived for a couple of years and paid the rent for a year extra so that we could continue our work. Leaving the place open so that people could come in and out, study and take measurements and do whatever they do. Anyway, Senator Reflux, as I call her, because she always keeps coming up. Every important vote is the important one, kind of like McCain used to. Part of the bipartisan party. Her office is right here, about a quarter mile from the mill. And this is really, I think, pretty pathetic. Not to notice that there's a problem with gassing in town while representing us. She doesn't even notice there's a problem with rice and boxwoods in front of the Senate office buildings, and the Congress, and the Supreme Court. All kinds of places she's supposed to at least walk around on top of Capitol Hill on the way to back and forth from the office once in a while. You know, I saw Bernie in front of the box. He didn't say anything either. That's all I have to say. My contempt for her is amazing, and it's because she's right here in Biddeford, about a quarter mile from here. I'm on the other side of the river from where I was. I'm in Biddeford now. That's Saco Island. That's the building I lived in. This is the Biddeford mill. It's called North Dam Mill. That's had a lot of problems too with gases. This is Main Street. Goes up around the corner there. It's a pretty beat up town. You go to the hinterlands a little bit, and there's some farms, and it looks nice. I'm sure it's all gassed. They really had a lot of knuckleheads running riot in this town for a while. And there we're looking over the bridge south of the falls. This leads to about almost 3 miles, and you hit the ocean. It's the Saco River. It's paradise. What they did to it is almost indescribable. They gassed it, and a few other ones.